Taylor Swift is obsessed with black women. Let's talk about it. Taylor Swift is obsessed with the fact that several of her exes have moved on to date black women, and she perceives this kind of conquering of Travis as an end or disruption of this pattern, and she's boasting about it in this album. Let's start with Oolite, which is very clearly about Kayla Nicole, Travis Kelce's ex-boyfriend whom he dated off and on from 2017 to 2022, and oh, Kayla Nicole happens to be black. The lyrics in Oolite could actually not be clearly more like targeting Kayla Nicole, right? It references a video that went viral a couple times in which Travis is literally berating Kayla for being on her phone. Meanwhile, she is an influencer, so that is weirdo behavior because she was working and it's very controlling, but it is very clear nonetheless that that video is referenced in Oolite. The lyric reads, "You couldn't understand it, why you felt alone, you were in it for real, she was in her phone, and you were just a pose," right? Like, Taylor could not have been more obvious and like less creative here. It's not enough to me that like Taylor is using this like crazy like worldwide medium to best a woman that like previously dated her ex. It's also the fact that like Taylor is fully aware that Kayla has received like relentless and racist harassment, oftentimes terrifying, from Swifties in reaction to the fact that she previously dated Travis. So like this is like purposefully and like blatantly violent. This song accomplishes two things at once, right? It proves the fact that Taylor Swift is obsessed with black women, and it endangers Kayla Nicole. But obviously our country is not at its best with critical thinking, so let's like analyze a different part of the song, right? So another lyric says, "But I'm not a bad bitch, and this ain't savage, but I'm never gonna let you down." So in this song, Taylor positions herself as this like unique, singular white flower that is so different from what? Black culture. And once you step back and realize the song is like final boss pick me X racism, you realize that Taylor Swift is preoccupied with like this obsession with black women, in part because Travis Kelce has predominantly dated black women in the past, and she wants to define herself as different from his past and therefore better. Again, very weird, very pick me behavior. Taylor's not only preoccupied with this idea that Travis has historically dated black women, it's also the reality that several of her exes have moved on from her to black women. And that confounds and ultimately like enrages her, and she's so obsessed with the pattern and the idea that she had to talk about it in this album. Chris, give me examples. Okay, well, we have Harry Styles, who is now reportedly dating Zoe Kravitz. We have Tom Hiddleston, who has moved on to be engaged to and co-parent with a black woman whose name is Zawe Ashton. And then we have Calvin Harris, who went on to marry a black woman named Vic Hope. So it is a pattern, and Taylor Swift is clearly aware of it because she is obsessed with her exes, and all of that together is making me feel very, very strange. And ladies and gentlemen of the jury, today I'd argue that this idea, the idea that white men have historically left Taylor Swift for black women, is part of her personal mythos, right? I imagine she finds it both confounding and devastating that these men have left her, who is like the pinnacle of Western white beauty, right? She is the ideal white woman. Meanwhile, all of these white guys are leaving her for black women, and I'm sure it's really pissing her off. So when Taylor like secured Travis, she achieved the ultimate feat in her mind. She had convinced a white man to leave black women for her, and the mythos is complete. She has disrupted the pattern, she is the queen bee yet again, and this album is all about her obsession with that weird mythos and her obsession with black women. At the end of the day, you know and I know that Taylor Swift is a deeply calculated and intentional person, right? She drew up these lyrics and this like 8th grade symbolism very intentionally. It's very red-pilled and incredibly macro-aggressive. So I guess the moral of my story here is like, you Swifties, the ones who refuse to call her out on her bullshit, are the same exact type of white feminist that she is. You protect bigots and you traffic in and like enjoy anti-black bullshit. And that makes you a bad person. All right, bye.
Taylor Swift is obsessed with black women just like the world is obsessed with black women. Our intelligence, our resilience, our swag, our bodies, our culture. And to be a black woman is to be gaslit every day to be made to believe like they don't give a damn about us, when really they cannot stop giving a damn about us. That is why everything we do is policed and critiqued. We talk too loud, we're too angry, we wear too much makeup, we wear too much weave, we want to be seen. Just grooming ourselves makes us want attention. By simply grooming ourselves, everything we do is under a microscope because they are obsessed with us, and they will gaslight us and try to make us believe that they really don't acknowledge our presence, but our presence is undeniable. To be a black woman, you must know this. You got to know this because you got to keep on shining regardless of what these people are going to try to convince you of.
There comes a point, and I'm at the point, where we have to stop saying this is microaggressiveness, passive aggressiveness, when it is very much blatant, it is macro, it is on a jumbotron. I'm not a bad bitch. I don't live the life of a savage. We all know that's AAV. We all know what she's talking about. All her exes left her for black women, and her current fiance only has a history of dating black women. It's nothing but malicious intent behind every single word in this album. There's no creativity at all. And we all know about the time when Travis Kelce and Kayla Nicole were still dating, and they were in an event. She was on her phone the whole time. Not the whole time, but he was like, "Why are you on your phone so much?" As if she's not an influencer, and that's literally her job. And you have the nerve to go in this song and not even be creative about it and state she was on her phone. You were just a pose. They dated for years. I doubt it was just a pose, sweetie. And the fact that we all know that she has been getting hate from only Taylor Swift fans this whole entire time. So for you to go and make this aggressive ass album about her is just sick, and it screams Regina George's mean girl energy.
As someone who does not follow this kind of shit and only makes these videos for you, and knowing that the only things I know about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are against my will and, freedom as a human being because they're just shoved down my goddamn throat everywhere. Just know that as soon as I looked at Travis Kelce, I knew that he was a man who used to date black women exclusively, because he reminded me of an ex of mine who used to date black women exclusively until he married a white woman. And people don't really talk about this, but the experience of most white or black women in dating world on the apps, at least when I was still on the apps, and believe me, it was a long time ago. I cursed someone out and deleted the apps in like something with a 10 on it or something, maybe 2010. I think the last one I was on was OkCupid. But one of the things, and you can do your own research on this because I have done it extensively, is that black women, especially on dating apps and in the world, are treated as the disposable black girlfriend. It's even a trope in media. We're fun for an experience. We are a phase to try out, but we are not the one you settle down with. You can even see it in commercials. Like if there's an interracial couple, it's usually a black man and a white woman, or at least a racially ambiguous. But conversely, if you look at the statistics, black women are treated as the least desirable mating prospect, when in reality, we're the ones that are like the most highly educated, but that's a whole nother bit. Suffice to say, the heavy-handed imagery of Oolite was something that I really wanted to talk about, because you cannot deny how she feels about black women if you listen to the chorus of that song. It's right there. And you're not going to gaslight me anymore that she's just some misunderstood little girl when she is nigh on middle-aged and she's getting married so that she can pop out as many kids as she can before she gets called a spinster auntie. You know it, and I'm just glad I can talk about it in public now. Anyway, like and follow more black creators and listen to us the first fucking time.
Like a lot, not all, but like a lot of white women, Taylor Swift is obsessed with black women. And when I say that, I don't mean as like a stalker. Her behavior and how she's conducted herself as a white artist over the years shows that. Every single one of Taylor's exes has dated or left her for a black woman. That's the truth. And we can take this way back when Kanye called her out and basically said Beyonce is better than Taylor, because she is. But Kanye was saying that the industry was kind of racist because all the that album of the year awards and stuff like that Taylor was getting, Beyonce should have been getting. He couldn't stand the fact that it was true. This is not just a Taylor Swift and Kayla situation. This is a universal situation, because I can say that as a black woman, and I know so many other black women have experienced this before. They date a white man, or they're asked out by a white man, or a white man is interested in them. And that man's ex or other white women around that see them together are jealous, very microaggressive with the comments and the slick stuff they say. Will be stalking your account, all up in your profile views, and then all of a sudden user 3456788WXYZ is in your profile views every other week. I also said this in one of my other videos a few months ago that blew up, about how a lot of white women are jealous of black women. How America tries so hard to push this narrative that blonde hair, blue eyes, and being white is the standard. Whole time, that standard is jealous of us. The last time I spoke about Taylor Swift, Swifties got in my comments and basically said, well, Taylor's a girl's girl. No, she's a girl's girl when it comes to white women. When Kayla was being attacked and racially attacked online, and hate comments and hate posts were being spread about her from Swifties. These are people who have Swiftie in their bio and they are Taylor Swift fans from Swiftie. As soon as Taylor Swift started dating Travis, not one time did Taylor step up and say, hey, you know what I mean? I understand that's his ex. You don't need that. That's not acceptable. My fans don't do that. My fans shouldn't be doing that. My fans shouldn't act like that. You leave her alone. That's what girls do. So like a lot, not all white women, she's just another white woman who's jealous of black women, intimidated by black women, and she's trying to do everything she can to validate herself. But she just can't wrap her head around the fact that we're always winning, despite the oppression.
Another outrage about the Taylor Swift album. Apparently, people are saying the album is full of microaggressions toward black women.
But I'm not a bad bitch, and this isn't savage.
Taylor Swift is obsessed with black women.
Taylor Swift has revealed herself to be resentful of black women, or at least deeply insecure when.
And specifically the way people are critiquing the racist and microaggressive undertones that are within the lyrics.
I find it interesting that as a black person, you can be offended by a lyric and call it a microaggression, but you're not offended by lyrics that glorify baby mama culture, having babies out of wedlock, drugs, alcohol, wanting bitches dead. Why do you normalize that, but you're offended by I'm not a bad bitch and this isn't savage.
The language of bad bitch and savage are primarily associated with Black women, at least in this context, especially Black women in hip hop. Both make me think of Megan Thee Stallion immediately, and there were rumors that Travis was trying to holler at Megan back in 2023, shortly before Travis and Taylor started dating. So I read this lyric as, sorry, I'm not a hot, cool Black woman like he usually dates.
So I did a little research, right? Taylor Swift has dated multiple many men who have ended up dating Black women or marrying Black women or having children with Black women or all three. Harry Styles, Tom Hiddleston, baby. Harry Styles is currently dating Zoe Kravitz. Hello. Calvin Harris married Vic Hope. Harry Styles, before he got with Zoe Kravitz, he was with Taylor Russell. Tom Hiddleston is actually engaged to Zawe Ashton. She's fine, honey. And then Maddie dated, for quite some time, FKA Twigs. Listen, I would feel some type of way if after every man that I was with, if I was a billionaire pop star, princess, supposedly the beauty standard, supposedly the perfect girl next door. What you next door to? Right, this goody two-shoes wholesome image. All of these men dated you, right? And you wrote songs about all of them. You are notably obsessed with them, right? And they all dated or married or have children with Black women. Taylor, it's giving that you're insecure. You are obsessed with your exes. You are obsessed with Black women. And the fact that your current fiance was in a very lengthy relationship and had other prior relationships with only Black women, I feel like you think you achieved some type of ending to the mythos of your life. And I'm glad that you feel good that you're engaged. You should. That's where you should be enjoying. But instead, you made it a point to make an album where you are interpolating Black music, and then Stevie Wonder and Jackson 5 at that. Girl, sit all the way down, okay? Then you are always taking jabs, little digs at Kayla Nicole. This woman is not doing shit to you and not saying shit to or about y'all, but y'all stay coming for her. Your album is less than, okay? You're a great writer, sure. But yeah, it's weird. It's definitely weird. And now that I know this about your dating history, it makes sense. Ooh, baby, it makes sense.
I'm really excited to announce my new kids book, Aisha Learns to Love Her Hair. Aisha's hair is stunning, but she struggles to see its beauty. Through encouragement and wisdom from Grandma Lily, Aisha learns powerful lessons about self-acceptance. Aisha's journey is a heartwarming tale of family, culture, and confidence. Share her magical journey with your little loved one today, available for purchase.